Yo, what's going on? It's Dead Boy Fred. Welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, we're going to be doing a video that was recommended to me in my Discord actually by someone who recently subbed to the channel, and it's basically a MC tier list of who I think are some of the best MCs that of course from shows that I've watched. And as you see, this is kind of a small list because these are not all the anime I've watched. There are just some that I picked out that might be more so the more popular ones on here. And so basically, yeah, of course I've watched much more anime than this, so there are a lot more people who could be on here, but of course, you know, I don't think some of them will be as known, and so more people will not be able to relate. So of course, before getting into this video, this is a straight up all opinionated video on me. I want to clear that so you don't go in the comment sections mad with me because your favorite MC is in C or just not a good MC for me, because there are some people who are going to get heated by, I already know, one or two of the people who I'm going to put in just not a good MC. And so you're just going to have to deal with it because, once again, this is solely my opinion. Now, getting straight into this, of course, you know how we do our tier list. We'll just start from the #1 spot all the way down to the last one. Now, this is, if you don't know, the MC from Bungo Stray Dogs, Atsushi. And to be honest with you, he's a pretty solid MC. Nothing too, special. I would honestly put him in C tier. He's not the worst. He's not like openly just a flat out great MC that you're fully attached to, because there are characters around him that you probably would fall for a lot quicker than you would fall for him. Because for me, it was Dazai. Dazai was the one who got my attention, and of course I stuck with him throughout most of the show. And then even alongside, when more characters came through, I tended to like them just a tad bit more to him, but not to say he was a bad character at all. He's definitely not a bad MC. It's just, a little on the on the inside. Kind of the same thing for Akra from Devilman's Crybaby. He's not a bad MC, but he's just kind of, actually, take that back. He's probably B tier because he probably was, my favorite character in his show. So no, yeah, I'll give him B tier. He was just openly great as a full-on blown MC, but he was definitely an enjoyable character to watch. So yeah, I'll give him B tier. Considering the fact that Devilman's Crybaby was an extremely short series, he did play his role very well as the MC in that show. I wouldn't say it was openly A or S tier, but it wasn't terrible. Yuji right now, do I want to put him in front of my character? Yeah, I'll give him. Yuji is a pretty good MC. He gives me a lot of promising vibes. Now, of course, I have not, well, that's not of course, but to tell you, I haven't read the Jujutsu Kaisen manga, which I will eventually start soon. I just have been doing and reading and watching some other stuff. So when I get to that, maybe he will move up. But for now, he's definitely a B tier based off the anime. I enjoy Yuji a lot. He's a funny character. He's a very hard-working character, especially trying to control Sukuna and all that. So I'm wishing him the best in the future. All right, now moving on to Little Bitty Gon. And guys, I'm gonna be quite honest. I'm sorry. Gon is just not it for me. It's something. Now, of course, I have watched all the way through Hunter x Hunter. I love Hunter x Hunter as a show. I wish it could finish, but sadly, I don't think that will ever happen. So it is what it is. But Gon, as far as he goes as a character and as an MC, is just, it's nothing. I don't want to say it's nothing entertaining. I mean, because his stupidness and his just innocence as a child is kind of funny at times, but that's the only thing I think that I grasped out of Gon. It wasn't anything that Gon did to stand out for me as an MC. There are much characters I enjoy a lot more than him. Of course, Killua, Karapika, however you pronounce that, don't get mad at me if I pronounce it the wrong way. I enjoy Hisoka. I enjoy Izuna a lot more. I mean, not Azuna, Illumi, Netero, Medium, really all of the Royal Guards. Gon is just, he's just a very character to me, he's just there. Kuroko from Kuroko's Basketball is C tier. I'll put him in front of, Atsushi. Now, Kuroko's not a bad MC, as I've continued to say, but he's a very bland and quiet character. He's very hard working, and he was a very much an underdog in his show. So he did have to work extremely hard, which I do credit him for having an amazing work ethic and trying to get better at basketball, which is the only reason he's not down here, is because he had a goal, and that goal was to beat all of his ex middle school teammates who I wouldn't say thought low of him, but they thought they could handle this thing by themselves, and he taught them something a little bit more. Now, and actually, now that I think about it, for just saying that, I could probably bump Kuroko up to that because his goals and ambitions were very, very nice. So yeah, I'll give him B tier. I don't think he's better than Yuji, but I'll give him a B tier. Yeah, definitely. Joseph. No, this is not Joseph. I'm sorry, Jonathan Joestar. C tier. Jonathan was just his part one was just extremely short. Him as an MC was just he was just a cool character that was there. It wasn't anything that blew my mind. So yeah, I mean I like him better than Gon, but that's about it. Joseph now is A tier. Joseph, I love. He's my favorite Joestar. Close runner-up for second is Journal. But yeah, Joseph is really good as an MC. He's funny. His ambitions are just all over the place. I really like him. Trying to find his goals are really kind of fluctuating all over the place. He's trying to get strong. Then at the same time, he's trying to take on these pillar men. Then at the same time, he's trying to protect those who he freaks with the most, being Jonathan's wife, his grandmother. He's trying to do all that. I really like Joseph. I really do. Afro's also A tier. I would probably put him in front of Joseph because Afro has a 5-episode show, but got straight to business right off rip. Afro's goal was to avenge his dad and get the #1 headband back, and that's exactly what he did. All right, moving on to our first S tier is Lelouch V Britannia. Lelouch is great. There's nothing bad I could ever say about Lelouch. I love this character from start to finish, from episode 1 to episode 50. Lelouch was great. Lelouch, his ambitions, his goals, his fight for Nonali, his fight to get revenge on his family for, flat out abandoning him in Nonali, the way he went about things, the way he tried to protect those who he wanted to as best as he could, but he knew that at a certain point in time, everything was a sacrifice, all for his ambitions and his last ending goal, which was, of course, to free Nonali and protect her and give her the best life that possibly he could, which ultimately was a very, very nice thing for Lelouch, and he's probably my favorite MC. Very close second or two more people on this list. Light. Now, you might think Light would be right here with them, but no, I'm going to put Light at A tier. And it's only because I felt Light in the entire L arc was just on the level of Lelouch. They're both like top tier. Like, I would probably still pick Lelouch over him. But him and, like, during the L arc, he was amazing. He was perfect. It was the Near arc that messed me up. Light started doing things that I didn't feel that was like him. He started getting cocky with himself. He started, truly sagging off on his, the main character he was built up to be in the L arc. He started doing things that I genuinely just didn't like and I didn't feel like was him. He started relying so much more on everyone else when he knew he was smart enough to handle all that by himself and probably always do a better job at it. And so I just felt that, he kind of fell off during the Near arc, but that's just me, of course. Tanjiro's probably, after reading the Demon Slayer manga, I'll give Tanjiro a B. Tanjiro's not a bad character. I really like Tanjiro. I definitely like the humor in Demon Slayer. It makes the show a little bit more enjoyable for me. Of course, I have made a Demon Slayer video in the past where I'll be talking about it as a whole, and you know how I feel about Demon Slayer. I don't think it's as good as everyone else thinks. I don't think it's bad neither. But Tanjiro definitely is a good part of making that show not as bad as people. I'm sorry. It's definitely, he's a reason that I think that show is still good and, it's not completely overrated. It's overrated, but Tanjiro makes that show a little bit better because him as an MC, his flat out goal from start to finish was to get Netsuko back into a human form or back into a human altogether, however you want to word it. And, getting there, he was willing to go from, to the end of the world. Let's say that he was willing to go to the ends of the world to get that goal completed for Nezuko, just so she can become a human again, which he did, of course, achieve. Sorry if you didn't read the Demon Slayer manga, but when we talk about videos like this, you should expect a spoiler or two. But yeah, all right. Moving on to our next person down is Eren Yeager, and no, he's right here. I'm sorry, guys. Aaron's just, to be quite honest with you, Aaron would have been an A tier if Aaron didn't finish his series. Yeah, that might not make sense, but exactly where the anime cut off is exactly where Aaron started to fall off. When the anime stopped at season 4, and it cut off just halfway, once you go and read the manga, sorry, Aaron's right down here. Everything that he was built up to be, all his morals, all of that just got thrown out the window, and it threw away his character, if you ask me. And there's not much more I can say about Aaron except for they just fumbled his character. Is Shinra A tier? Ooh, this is a tough one. I would probably give Shinra a. Him and Tanjiro are very neck and neck because both of their goals are kind of similar. Well, I wouldn't say 100% similar, but they have similar goals. Shinra's main goal is to, number one, figure out what happened to his mother, figure out what happened to his missing brother and where he could possibly be, and then figure out the things that are hidden behind this world, being the Everlast and the Pillars and all these other very, very interesting things. Fire Force is my favorite new gen. If you haven't read the manga, I would highly recommend you go do that. Fire Force is extremely good, personally, to me. So yes, Shinra is a very good MC. He is very much in the manga right now, very close to fulfilling both of those goals, and really all three of them that I just named. But predominantly, he has already figured out what happened to his brother, where he is, and he has found his brother's show. He has now, in the manga, is starting to learn more and more about the Everlast, and he's starting to figure them out. And he's also just now encountered his mother again. So yes, all this is coming together for Shinra. Edward is, I will put Edward here. Edward's goal is very similar to Tanjiro's, except for I just feel Edward's a better character all around. His basic goal is to turn his brother back into, give his brother basically his body back. Alphonse basically got turned into a hunk of metal because they decided to do human. Basically, they tried to revive their mother, which was not supposed to be done, and it ended up taking Edward's arm and leg, while it took Alphonse's entire body. And basically, Edward's end goal was to basically give Alphonse its entire body back. All right. Gintoki is just like a great character all around. I have not fully finished Gintama, but from what I have watched, Gintoki is great. He's just a goofball and all around great MC. There's not very much to say about him. Journo is our next S tier character. I love Journo. Now, even though I did say, this is my second, favorite Joestar, that doesn't take away from how good he is as an MC. And I believe Journo is the best, JoJo MC so far that I've read and watched up to. Personally, I enjoy Journo's motives the most. I enjoyed the way he went about his goals the most. And to be honest with you, he was the only one that flat out of all the Joestars just had a straight up motive. Everyone else was just, stuff just happened. But Journo wanted to end this cycle of gangs and all this other stuff that was happening around. I believe he lives in France. I want to say Italy, something in the area. So he wanted to stop all of that, and basically he achieved that goal. Now, Ichigo. Ichigo is another S tier. I don't know if I would put him in front of Journo or not. I really don't. But Ichigo is a great character in my opinion. Ichigo's, him and Luffy are extremely close for my favorite MC in the big three, because I feel that Ichigo is one of the most realistic MCs you can relate to, considering the fact that he was just at one point just a normal kid that just for some reason was just handed all this power and is now trying to figure out all that he is as a person and how his entire life was just planned out by some guy. And then you read the manga and then even more of his life was built up by someone else. Him trying to overcome all this. It's just, I enjoy Ichigo's character extremely a lot. Like, he's a great guy. I've recently started My Hero because I've decided to block out the fandom and decide to just watch the anime for the show. And right now I'm enjoying My Hero. I believe Deku is probably like right here. I believe he's a solid MC. Hopefully when I finish the anime and the manga starts, I heard he stopped bitching and crying, so I hope he does stop that. But once he does that, he'll be probably like an A tier character. But this crying in the anime, I can't handle. Like, it's starting to become extremely annoying. I'm gonna go 2-for-1 right here. Josuke and Jotaro are just they're the exact same as Jonathan. You know, they're not terrible MCs. Their goals are just, and actually, I'll take that back. Jotaro will be up because Jotaro's main goal is to save his mother. That's the only thing he's the only, like, I can't think of what Josuke and Jonathan's goals. Like, Jonathan's goal was sure to beat Dio, but that's not like, it's not just flat out really good MC goal to me. And Josuke's goal, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Like, I guess to defend his town. Like, I don't really know. I don't know what Josuke's end goal was genuinely to be from the start of the show. Jotaro from episode 1 and 2 was like, it was lived up to be, he needs to save his mom before she dies, which is a valid, very valid, you know, MC goal. All right, Goku. Goku for nostalgic reasons would be S tier. Goku for MC reasons is probably C tier. I don't really need to get very much into that. Goku and Dragon Ball possibly could have been an A tier character. Dragon Ball Z Goku and up right here. All right, Cho from I don't know if many of you know this, from Hitori no Shita. It's a Chinese-made anime, I believe correctly, if I remember. It's a pretty good show. Also, I believe he's a B tier. His end goal was to basically figure out the hidden power of his grandfather that was handed down to him. His grandfather ran away with a hidden technique from a clan that he was once about, and basically he was trying this whole show to figure that out and figure out the origins of his grandfather, which, you know, I generally liked because this show had some really good fights in it, had some really good story in it, and all around he was a pretty solid MC, very smart guy, very tactical, you know, kind of a goofball, but you know, you gotta have that in every MC. So Cho's a very nice character. Mob is C tier, only because Mob as a character, a lot like Saitama, fully doesn't have a stated goal. Like, there's nothing that just states what Mob is or like what his main goal is. Mob is just there, and you know, he just goes about his life. I mean, at the end of the day, he is just a normal kid. You know, he has little goals like he wants a girlfriend or something like that. You know, he wants to be able to do certain things like actually run and be an athlete. But, you know, it's little things like that Mob wants. But, you know, he's not a terrible MC. I would put him in front of these guys just because I enjoy him a little bit more than him. Naruto, I've given Naruto a... I'll give Naruto a B tier. Becoming the Hokage from start to finish. Naruto, that goal of Naruto's was great. The whole Sasuke thing dropped Naruto down. Like, stop chasing another man. Like, you're really a grown man. Oh, well, basically a grown man chasing another man. Like, come on now. All right, Luffy S tier. I already told you. I believe I've stated this multiple times how much I like Luffy and why I think he's a great character. All right, Shinji from Parasite is an A tier. Great character. If you haven't watched Parasite, I will be very surprised because it's a very popular and very great show. Shinji basically is just trying to figure out what is basically going on with this world and what's going on with these whole parasites that are showing up, while also trying to keep his human, you know, feelings and attitude, and really just trying not to have Megami take over his body completely. And it's a very stressful time for him, and it builds a lot of character development for him because the girl that he likes the most, he ends up accidentally losing at one point in time, but then comes back, and you know, it's great. It's great. Now, Tatsumi and Akame are basically MCs of the same show, but of course Tatsumi is the main MC, but for some reason the show's name Akame. I really don't get it, to be honest with you, but he's right here C tier. He doesn't provide anything special for a character. You know, he's just there. To be honest with you, I still feel like Akame should be the MC because she definitely could have been slightly higher than him. He's there. I mean, his goal, I guess you can put it in front of Goku and Tatsumi, because his goal was, you know, to get money back to the village that he was from. So, you know, that's cool. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if there's any other MCs you like on here or where you would put them, if you think maybe that you would switch this list around, of course, leave it down in the comment section below. I love to see you guys comment. And as you guys have seen, we've been doing extremely well on the channel. We've hit a little bit over 200 subs now, and you know, we're striving for that next goal of 300 subs. So let's make it happen, or at least 250 by the end of the year. I think we can make that happen. So with all that out the way, I hope you guys enjoyed this once again. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.